Well, welcome back everybody. Good to see you again. We're going to start this video out by saying we have a problem. Or at least a couple of our good subscribers have a problem. And I'm going to straighten it out. There's a misunderstanding on their part. They felt that when I counted the pins on the rectifier tube last time, they felt that I counted them wrong. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. In the last video, I showed you that the key was between the two large holes in the socket, and you count clockwise 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, Sam I Am and Revolving Toto, they thought, no, John. They both said, go back and triple check. You got it backwards. This should be number 1, 2, and 3, and 4 instead of this way. Well, apparently my teaching has not been sufficient. So we're going to go back to basics, folks. We are going back to basics. We're going to take, just going to be a short video. I just want everybody to, if you're not on the same sheet of music as I am, then a lot of this stuff's not going to make any sense. I'm surprised it hasn't come up before now. Here's what I said. I did not say, they said, well, if the key to the tube is on top here, then that would make it the reverse count, counterclockwise, of what you did underneath. Well, it's not that the key is on top, and it's not that the key is on the bottom where I drew this line right here. Neither one of those are the key. The key is between the two large holes. That's the key, between the two large holes. It doesn't matter if it's top or bottom, it's between those two holes. So it's between those two holes on the top, and it's between the two holes on the bottom. So if it's on the bottom, right, marked right here, as I have right here, then we start from the key and we count clockwise 1, 2, 3, and 4. The question came up, well, are you saying that when you look at the schematic that you're looking at the bottom of the chassis? Bingo! I've only seen one radio, and that was a Spartan Model 67, if I recall properly, that had the tube pins counting from the top of the chassis. When you look at a schematic, you're looking at the bottom of the socket, bottom of the socket, bottom of the socket. Any schematic, except for that one. Now there may be others I don't know about. But other than the 67, and I've restored an awful lot of radios, when you look at the schematic, you're looking at the bottom of the chassis, just like you see it here. That is that. Okay? So when you count clockwise, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just like there. There should be no question now in anybody's mind. We go over here to this socket. We've been doing it since we started this rewire series. We started right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clockwise. Clockwise. Now, if you're counting from above, then everything will be counterclockwise. This would be 1, 2, 3, and 4 like that, okay? Counterclockwise from the top. So when you're doing, voltage readings and things, you have to keep that in mind. You may want to go ahead and stick a probe down in one of the holes and test it. So you need to be counting counterclockwise on top so you get the right hole. But if you're testing from underneath, clockwise. Everybody got that? All right. I know I overly beat that to death, but I actually thought everybody understood that by now. Apparently not. So now I have corrected my error, my weakness. I should have maybe gone over this before. I don't know. The next issue we have was brought up by our good subscriber, Ron C. Now last time in the last video I told you that out right here where the switch and the choke and the coil all come together, I said, how many wires do you see? And probably most of you said, well, we see 2. And I said, well, no. You see 3. One from the coil, one from the switch, and one from the choke. Now, Ron said, well, why didn't they put a dot there? You know, why didn't they show a junction dot there, much like they have right here? Well, I'll tell you what. You can bet Monday morning I'm going to make a phone call to the guy that drew this schematic, and I'm going to have a talk with him about that. Meanwhile, what we're going to do is we're going to take care of it. We're going to put a dot there. Okay? There we go. Problem solved. All done. I hope that's dark enough. Actually, let me tell you what happened. Why they actually put 2 wires there instead of 3. Remember over here, I cut the wire off where they had tapped into it. They tapped into the wire. What they did was they had a single wire. Come on, camera, focus up for me here. They had a single wire, then they brought the choke wire over and stripped the spot and then just kind of wrapped it around and soldered. Yeah, they probably showed that. They were looking at that as 2 wires instead of 3. But when we put it back together, we have to look at this thing as 3 wires. A wire from here, a wire from the switch, and a wire from the choke. Now we have the dot. Everybody should be happy now. I'm happy, and I plan to have a very good weekend. I got a good mishmash video coming up, or at least a mishmash. I don't know how good it is. It'll be up Sunday morning, as long as my computer keeps humming along. Hope that helps everybody. Until next time, this is John.